Okay, thank you everyone for having me. Let's have a round of applause. Okay, so I hope today topic will not be boring because I think continue from the previous presentation. I will be talking about Pydantic. Just to check, all right, is everyone here a Pydantic user? Two. Okay. FastAPI? Wow, quite a lot. KrisFlyer member. Okay. Yeah. Actually, quite coincident. I get to know Python actually initially from Scrappy. So I did a lot of web scraping in the past. Because I'm building OTA. So last time I am co-founder of one of the Indonesia OTA called hula.com. So we do a lot of web scraping. So we get to choose Scrappy in the past for that scraping library. Yep. So I spent my last career at KrisShop.com as head of technologies, and my past 4 years as a tech lead at Cargobase. So Cargobase is a logistic transportation management platform. So basically, we heavily invest our technology stack using Django. So during my tenure at Cargobase, I rewrite a lot of microservices from the monolith. Actually build a lot of shipment tracking APIs using FastAPI and Pydantic. So that's I'm going to share a lot about Pydantic today. Okay, why need another data validation library? Of course, as you can see, hopefully not too small, we do a lot of if-else checking and rest value errors exception to sanitize and clean the data. Of course, these few fields, we will do it manually, but what about like a huge data set, like consists of 20 fields, 50 fields. So we will write a lot of hundreds line of code just to do a if-else validation. Yep. Okay, so Pydantic is basically a data validation library. It's been a while for some time. Yeah, I have a good robust ecosystem. Basically, it's like FastAPI best friend, glue along with the ORM database and also other type of Python object, especially JSON and dictionary. Okay, why Pydantic? In Cargobase we use a lot of Django DRF. So the DRF serializer, Django REST framework. And it's a bit slow because it's very coupled to Django models. So we need something like really independent. Yep. And why Pydantic? So the version 2, actually, the runtime has been rewritten with Rust programming language runtime. So make it super fast. And it's a type hint. You can write custom validators on top of it. Of course, rich ecosystem and used by FANG and a lot of enterprises around the world. Yep. Okay, I believe some of you use this built-in data class, but data class actually not equipped with data validation, and we cannot adding any custom validator on top of it, but it actually built in Python. But yeah, as Pydantic is an external package you have to install by yourself, but it's plug and play, I believe. Okay, these are the some methods, but I will skip this for now. Actually, there's one, we can take files as well as a JSON format, then we can do the validation on top of it. Okay, beside those basic data types, Pydantics actually have an external package that can do a lot of extra validation, like payment, country, currency code. Pendulum is a dead time library, time zone, and you can check actually the list of supported data types. Yeah, you can just install pip install Python extra types, Pydantic extra types. Yeah, this is some of the use case. How we can import is pretty simple. From Pydantic extra types, currency, import currency, payment, import cut brand or cut number. Yeah, these are some of the use cases. I will show you later in the demo. Okay, because we are talking about Pydantic, of course, we need to talk about FastAPI. Yeah, I hope maybe some of you can, after this talk, can write FastAPI and consume the data from open government products. Yep. So everybody, of course, talking about API. So FastAPI is one of the top frameworks now. I think, yeah. It's designed for the speed and asynchronous. As I said, Pydantic and FastAPI actually are best friends. So they work seamlessly. You can take the request input, sanitize it, validate it, and transform into the response model. Very simple. Yeah, basically you can define the product schema. I saw some of the product schema, yes. And you can write the routes, consume the input, and generate the response. There's also one very popular library called Pydantic settings. Of course, we, as like API framework, we work a lot with the environment variables. So Pydantic has an external package to validate the environment file. So there are some settings we can use to just get the .env file and load it into the class. Okay, I will show you in the example later. Okay, maybe the first one is I will talk about a little bit more. So since the version 2, it's highly recommended to use the model validate JSON and take the JSON string inputs, rather than we use the model validate and load the JSON because of the Rust runtime. So it encourages to use the internal function of the Pydantic. Yeah, if you want to skip the validation, just use any data type. The third one, yeah, you can use typedit, but I did run the benchmark. That's not really very fast, but let's see later. Okay. Okay, skip the boring talk. Let's code. Okay, for this example, I will show you how to write, the Pydantic model. Actually, it's pretty simple. So we just import the base model, and we just, code the attributes. Basically, there's internal data type, string, integer, booleans, and also there are some from Pydantic library. For image, you can use HTTP URL, and some of them there you can use float. I believe some of you coming from other types of validation library, such as Marshmallow, but for Pydantic, it's not required to put require. So you can put optional to make it non-require. Okay. Let's run. Okay, before that, I want to explain something. So how we define the API, this is actually FastAPI give us the freedom how to structure the framework. But there are some best practice. I will share the code later. I borrow some from Netflix, dispatch library. So yeah, you can have like a quite modular library that ready to use. So basically, we can define the routers and import it. On this, you can see. So in this demo, I will show you the product router. Switch to my browser. Basically, I can see the magic here. So FastAPI After you define the schema using Pydantic, defining the input, request, and the response model, we can generate open API schema. Yeah, it looks like a magic. So a few lines of code, we can generate this. Yeah, this is how the router looks like. Just few lines of code. So the logic is heavy on the Pydantic model, where we can define on the function attributes, and the response models is on the decorator. So we take the input as product request and generate the output as product response, as defined in the Pydantic. Just now I talked about the attribute, sorry, the instance function. So we can actually dump into a dictionary, then convert back to the class attributes. Okay, let's try. As you can see, our response body is different because we append the ID and also and the created at. So the request normally is a best practice to have a separate request and response schema for FastAPI. Okay. So another endpoint, I'm going to show you how we can actually write a custom validator. I will share the source code later on my GitHub, so no worry. Okay, so there is a decorator. For example, in my use case, I want to add some JCB card number validation. I can define the field validator. So by pointing to the attributes, and we define a function. So as you know, this is class method. We need to put class and raise the custom validation errors. So it's very flexible. So it's allow us also to raise exception. So talking about data security, so actually Pydantic has okay, has a data type called secret string. So basically, normally when we do a logging on username or password, we're going to mask it, right? So this secret string actually can take the input and mask it as a response. Okay, I can show you in the example. Oops, internal server error. I'll fix that. Yeah. So basically, when we're going to lock it, we can actually mask the sensitive data. Yep. What about production best practice? I have on Cargobase, we have been running FastAPI for more than 2 years, and it's proven quite stable. We use Ganicon with UVCon because Ganicon actually can gracefully reload and restart the application by itself, so we don't have to control the UVCon process itself. And what is the rule? This is a formula. You can set number of worker is 2 times the CPU core plus 1. So like a parameter on the Ganicon side, we can set the number of workers and run the UVCon workers. Okay, maybe I show you. I write some of the stress testing benchmark using K6, but maybe don't do it on the OpenGov. Let's see how fast is FastAPI. By the way, this is not don't have any connection with the database, so we just insert the JSON and see the raw performance benchmark. Okay, you'll see this is running. There's no 500s or 404, so success. So basically, I'm simulating against 100 virtual user interacting with the endpoint for 30 seconds. It's a bit small. Okay, let's see the numbers. It's a bit small. We get 35,000 requests at 1.1 thousand per second on my local machine. It's a cheap machine, 6-core AMD. Yep, so quite impressive. Of course, maybe you could compare to Golang framework, but it's a Python, and there's a GIL, deadlock on the threading. So I believe FastAPI is fast enough for actually normal application. Yep. Go and build your API on top of open government products. So I'm not sponsored by OpenGov, by the way. Okay, so far, any question? Yep.